Do you know what year is considered the Year of Africa? Anyways, here is the Year of Africa. Like, subscribe, and share please to help us. Thanks and enjoy. Because of the sheer size and numbers of countries on the continent, every year is eventful in Africa. However, there was a movement in a particular year that has shaped Africa today, for better and for worse. The year is 1960, and coming off the year of a few countries gaining independence, 17 countries gained their independence from their colonial powers. 2 years earlier, France created a new constitution, giving more autonomy to the countries it resided in as long as they stayed under France. This came with France pouring more money into developing these locations, hoping to convince these nations to keep with France. Guinea was the only nation against this, and in retaliation, France cut off all its support to Guinea, recalled all its citizens, and destroyed whatever was left of the French Empire in the country, all in hopes of scaring the other countries to comply. This though backfired, as Cameroon, Togo, Mali, Senegal, Madagascar, Benin, Niger, Burkina Faso, Ivory Coast, Chad, the Central African Republic, the Republic of the Congo, Gabon, Mauritania declared their independence. The DRC also became independent from Belgium that year after Patrice Lumumba, who was previously imprisoned, was elected as the first prime minister of the nation. Though Nigeria also gained its independence in 1960, it still retained the Queen of England as the titular head of state for another 3 years. Somalia interestingly became independent from Italy 5 days after Somaliland, which was colonized by England. The two became a country, but Somaliland has become an unrecognized country to most of the world. In the world of sports, the Olympics in Rome saw the first black African gold medalist, Abebe Bikila, a man who was an infant during the Second Italo-Ethiopian War, broke the world record at the time at the marathon. What makes this even more meaningful was that he ran the marathon barefooted, as the shoe he purchased was not comfortable, giving him blisters. He would go on to win more medals in the future. Meanwhile, South Africa had one of its own defining moments that same year. While other countries were gaining independence from their colonial powers, South Africa was embroiled in apartheid. On March 21st, black South Africans converged upon a police station in Sharpeville to protest past laws, which controlled their movements at all times. Reportedly, the crowd grew to over 20,000, all protesting to be arrested as they were not carrying their passes. This overwhelmed the police officers at the station, and they called for reinforcements, as they described the mood of the protest as ugly. As tempers reached a fever pitch, chaos broke out once the police started arresting people. As the crowd surged forward, the police at the scene started firing at the protesters. At the settling of the dust, 69 people were killed, including children, and 180 were injured. This event was the beginning of more protests against apartheid all over the world, including condemnation from the United Nations. In retrospect, the year 1960 was a watershed moment in African history. It was a time of profound change, a period when Africa took control of its destiny. The events of that year laid the groundwork for the Africa we know today, a continent rich in diversity, culture, and potential. From the political triumphs of independence to the symbolic victories in sports and the global solidarity against apartheid, the legacy of 1960 continues to reverberate across Africa and the world. However, it was also the beginning of the realities of post-colonial violence. Thanks for watching. Will we see you in the next one?